Welcome to the Englishstorywell channel, your ultimate destination for captivating stories that enhance your English learning journey. Here, we believe that stories are not just a form of entertainment, but a powerful tool to improve your language skills. Let's go to started.
Emma lived in a beautiful city that she loved to explore. Her city was full of life, with busy streets, tall buildings, colorful parks, and many interesting places to visit. Emma enjoyed walking through the city to see new places and meet different people. She thought that exploring her city was not only fun but also a great way to improve her English. She liked to learn new words by talking to people, reading signs, and asking questions. Today, she planned a whole adventure through her city, hoping to visit her favorite spots and maybe discover a few new ones. Emma also brought a small notebook to write down any new English words or phrases she learned along the way. Adventure on a busy street called Market Street. This was one of the main streets in the city, filled with shops, cafes, and street vendors. She could smell fresh coffee from a cafe nearby, and she heard people chatting and laughing. The street was bustling with life. She wrote down a few words in her notebook. Busy, full of activity, with lots of people. Vendor, a person who sells things, often on the street. Bustling, full of energy and movement. As Emma walked down the street, she stopped by a vendor selling fresh fruit. She decided to buy an apple to snack on during her walk. She practiced her English by saying, "Hello, can I have one apple, please?" The vendor smiled and handed her an apple, saying, "Here you go. Have a great day." After her stop at Market Street, Emma headed to a large park nearby. The park was one of her favorite places in the city because it was calm and peaceful, with beautiful green trees, a small lake, and many flowers. Families often came to the park to have picnics, children played on the playground, and people walked their dogs. Emma found a bench near the lake and sat down to enjoy her apple. She saw ducks swimming on the lake and a family having a picnic under a tree. The scene was lovely, and she felt relaxed. She wrote a few more words in her notebook. Picnic, a meal eaten outdoors, usually on a blanket. Playground, an area with equipment where children play. Bench, a long seat, usually outdoors. While sitting, an older lady with a friendly smile sat beside her. They started a small conversation about the beauty of the park and the nice weather. The lady told Emma that she came to the park every day to feed the ducks. Emma thanked her for the conversation, feeling happy to have practiced her English. After the park, Emma decided to visit the city museum. She loved museums because they had so many interesting things to see and learn about. The city museum had displays about the history of her city, art exhibitions, and even science exhibits. Inside the museum, Emma saw paintings, sculptures, and old photographs. She was amazed by the beautiful art and historical objects. She wrote down a few more words. Exhibition, a public display of art or items in a museum. Sculpture, a three-dimensional piece of art, often made of stone or metal. Historical, related to history or past events. Emma found an exhibit that showed how her city looked 100 years ago. There were photos of old buildings and people dressed in old-fashioned clothes. She thought it was interesting to imagine how life was different back then. While exploring, she saw a tour guide explaining the history of the city to a small group. She joined them to listen and learned many new things about her city's past. She practiced her listening skills and wrote down a few new words the guide used. Next, Emma went to the city library. She loved the library because it was a quiet place where she could read and study. The library had many books in English, which helped her improve her language skills. Emma walked through the library, looking at different books. She picked a book about animals and sat down to read a few pages. She came across new words and wrote them in her notebook. Library, a place with books that people can read or borrow. Borrow, to take something temporarily, like a book from the library. Animals, living creatures like dogs, cats, birds, and more. While she was reading, she noticed a small group of children listening to a librarian who was reading a story. She listened to the story too, enjoying the way the librarian used expressions and gestures. Emma thought it was a great way to learn new English words and phrases in a fun way. Before leaving, she decided to borrow a book about plants to read at home. She practiced her English by asking the librarian, "Can I borrow this book, please?" The librarian smiled and said, Of course. Enjoy your reading. Emma's next stop was the city's art gallery. She loved art and enjoyed looking at paintings and other artwork. The gallery was quiet, with large rooms and walls filled with colorful paintings. Some paintings were of nature, while others showed city scenes or people. Emma took her time walking through the gallery, admiring the different styles and colors. She came across a painting of her city's skyline at sunset. The colors were warm and beautiful, reminding her of the times she had seen the sunset herself. She wrote down a few more words. Gallery, a place where art is displayed. Skyline, the outline of buildings against the sky. Sunset, the time in the evening when the sun goes down. While looking at the paintings, she saw a young artist sketching in a notebook. Emma asked if she could look at his sketches, and he happily shared them with her. She complimented his art and enjoyed a short conversation with him about their favorite art styles. Emma felt proud of herself for having the confidence to talk with someone new. After a long day of exploring, Emma felt tired and decided to relax at a coffee shop. She walked to her favorite cafe and ordered a cup of coffee and a small piece of cake. The coffee shop was cozy, with soft music playing and comfortable chairs by the window. As she sipped her coffee, she watched people walking by outside. She saw people holding shopping bags, talking on their phones, and enjoying the afternoon. Emma enjoyed the peaceful atmosphere and used the time to review the words she had written in her notebook. She also thought of a few words to describe the coffee shop. Cozy, comfortable, warm, and relaxing. Sip, to drink slowly, usually a hot drink. Window, an opening in a wall that lets in light and allows people to look outside. She realized that learning English was becoming easier and more enjoyable with each new experience. Emma was proud of the effort she was putting into improving her language skills. Emma decided to visit the shopping mall as her last stop of the day. The mall was big, with many shops selling clothes, shoes, books, and even electronics. She liked to walk around the mall to see the new items in the stores, even if she didn't always buy something. As she walked through the mall, she practiced reading English words on the shop signs. She saw words like sale, new arrivals, and discount. She wrote these words in her notebook. Sale, a time when things are sold at a lower price. New arrivals, new items that have recently arrived in a store. Discount, a reduction in the price of something. Emma went into a clothing store and saw a nice scarf that she wanted to buy. She asked the salesperson, "Excuse me, how much is this scarf?" The salesperson replied, "It's on sale today for $10. Emma was happy with the price and decided to buy it. She felt proud of herself for asking questions in English and making a purchase. After her day of exploring, Emma was ready to go home. She walked to the bus stop and waited for the bus to arrive. When the bus came, she got on and found a seat by the window. She liked sitting by the window so she could look outside during the ride. On the bus, she saw familiar places passing by: the park, the museum, and the library. She thought about all the things she had learned that day and felt happy and satisfied. Emma decided to write a few more words related to the bus ride in her notebook. Bus stop, a place where people wait for the bus. Seat, a place to sit. Window seat, a seat by the window. As she rode home, she reviewed her notes and thought about how much her English had improved through her city adventure. She realized that learning a language didn't always need to be in a classroom. It could happen anywhere at any time. When Emma got home, she sat down and looked through her notebook, reviewing all the words and phrases she had learned. She felt proud of herself for practicing her English all day and learning so many new things. She thought about her city and how it was full of opportunities to learn and grow. From the busy streets and parks to the quiet library and colorful art gallery, each place had something unique to offer. Emma realized that by exploring her city, she was not only having fun but also making her English better with each new experience. Her story showed her that learning English could be simple, enjoyable, and part of her everyday life. She looked forward to more city adventures and learning even more words and phrases in the future. Emma's city adventure is a perfect example of how to improve your English by exploring your surroundings. By visiting the market, park, museum, library, and other places, Emma practiced listening, speaking, and vocabulary skills in real-life settings. She discovered new words, met new people, and gained confidence in her English abilities. This story shows that learning English can happen anywhere. All you need is curiosity and a willingness to explore. Join us on a journey through Emma's city as she explores familiar spots, learns new words, and practices her English skills. In this video, we'll visit a bustling market, a peaceful park, an interesting museum, and more. Perfect for beginners and intermediate learners, this story will help you improve your English listening and speaking skills in a natural, engaging way. What you'll learn: useful English vocabulary for city places and activities, everyday phrases for conversations and exploring your surroundings, listening and speaking tips to help you communicate more confidently. This video is ideal for English learners who want to practice language skills through storytelling. Listen, learn, and follow along as Emma discovers her city and makes language learning part of her daily adventure.
Whether you're a beginner or an advanced learner, our carefully curated stories cater to all levels, making learning English enjoyable and effective. Join our community of language enthusiasts and let the magic of storytelling transform your learning experience. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Dive into Englishstorywell, where every story is a step towards mastering English.